In today's medical alert, there are 10,000 known rare diseases. They impact 30 million people in the U.S. A Frederick County man is one of them. And he's sharing his story of survival to raise awareness and show that living in a region with some of the best medical minds is indeed a blessing.
Adrian Figgins was severely ill with a rare autoimmune lung disease. He felt he had two options, a lung transplant or death.
It's just a scary blur, because especially when the doctors don't quite know what it is.
But despair turned to hope when he came to see Dr. Ash Sachdeva at the University of Maryland Medical Center.
So Adrian has an orphan lung disease called autoimmune pulmonary alveolar proteinosis.
Put simply, pulmonary alveolar proteinosis, or PAP, is a rare disease in which a type of protein builds up in the air sacs of the lungs, making it hard to breathe.
At any point, there are about 7 to 10 individuals per million affected with this disease. It happens more so in smokers, and what is unique about Adrian is that he's a never smoker.
Dr. Sachdeva first tried the standard treatment for PAP, lung lavage, where doctors wash out the patient's lung sacs under general anesthesia.
You don't have to be a doctor to tell that one looks better than the other.
It seemed to work. Adrian married the love of his life, Angela. They went on a honeymoon. But then the disease came back with a vengeance. After more lavage treatments, 23 in all, his lungs were scarring. It was taking a toll on his weakened body. They needed to try something else.
We even reached a point where he was being evaluated for lung transplantation until some things worked.
What worked were unique treatments born out of a collaboration with Dr. Sachdeva's colleague, oncologist Dr. Nancy Hardy, and just in time.
He was as fragile, I think, as you can be.
They developed a cocktail tailored just for Adrian, using an inhaled medication and an infusion of a drug for myeloma, a type of cancer.
Fortunately, he responded very well.
But after one cycle, insurance said no more. But Dr. Sachdeva and Dr. Hardy refused to give up and came up with another idea, a lymphoma-type treatment that targets B cells.
He kept saying, "It's working, I know it's working, it's working."
Within 6 months of this unique treatment,
Inch by inch, you could see him sort of recapturing his life, which is hard to explain how fabulous that is.
Here are Adrian and Angela today.
At my worst, I was on 10 liters of oxygen. I was bedridden. I couldn't do anything. And now here I am, we walked today. I'm on 2 liters of oxygen for mobility and moving and long distance things, but I can sit here and talk to you right now without gasping or having to be on anything, so much, much better for sure.
So that's really what convinced me.
Adrian credits the University of Maryland's team approach, a team that includes his wife, a fierce advocate.
It was, a kind of a partnership with Dr. Sachdeva of, okay, he was exploring other options, trying to research and find things, and I was trying to research and find anything that I could.
And now they share matching tattoos, a Maryland terrapin with red lungs visible through the rib cage. It's a reminder of their experience. For Dr. Sachdeva, it's a case he'll never forget.
Adrian has made me a better doctor. I couldn't thank him, Angela, and Adrian's mom. The time I've spent listening to them gives me immense gratification when I see that things are working.
A godsend all the way around. So a godsend from her, a godsend from these doctors. Miracles don't happen in just like signs and wonders. I think they can come in doctors, patients, and wives too.
Such a nice couple, and Adrian's doing really well. He hasn't needed the lung lavage treatment for 2 years now. He's able to walk 1.5 miles, and he is currently going to school for design.